I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. And now for the moment of silence.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices, secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve.
I was in my classroom. It was early in the morning before students had arrived, and I had a first period conference. So the first news that came out, we had televisions and we could actually watch cable news being broadcast at that time, so we could see it live. And it was really traumatic. And then of course, as the day went on and they kept filming, that we wouldn't watch it all period. I think there were some history classes that did, but it was the thing that students walked into the room and you could tell they were concerned. It was pretty traumatic at the time. I think we are at a point 20 years later that most of the students don't have it as a direct memory, so it's not as relevant to their life right now because it happened so long ago for them. For those of us who were here, who can remember it, the things we see in the news right now make us probably even a little bit more nervous because we know what happened in 2001.
So when 9/11 happened, I was actually off duty. I was at home. I had been actually trying to catch up on some sleep because I'd been in paramedic school, and I can remember walking into the bedroom and waking up that morning and turning on the news and remembering that something was going on, and this is weird. There was reports of a plane had hit one of the skyscrapers in New York. Everybody was looking at that and going, man, that's got to be a crazy situation, and you're just playing in your head like, how would I respond to something like that? And then it turned into another plane, and then we started really realizing what was going on. But the whole time just glued to the TV and watching all the reports, and then just trying to think about like, what would I be doing in that situation, and how would I deal with that if I was in New York, if we had something like that happen here? It's really, and a lot of people look at this and they're like, well, those guys are really brave, but firefighters across the U.S. every day go to work with that same mindset, because that's what we do. Is when everybody else is leaving a building or they're running out of a building, the firefighters are going in to fight the fire, help people, get people out, and we don't think about ourselves in those moments. It's really a calling to serve others, and we really put other people before ourselves, and we risk a whole lot. We risk our lives every day we go to work, knowing that you could be going into a house that's on fire, a building that's on fire, just to be able to risk that, to be able to get someone and get someone out. So even if it's one life, and I can imagine with something like that, the adrenaline and the knowing that there's a ton of people that need your help, I doubt anybody had any second thoughts. I'm sure those guys didn't even think about it. They just went and did their jobs, and that's what they do every day. You know, really, when we look at it, the fire department, even in smaller communities, the fire department is like a family, and a lot of other people don't understand that. But like when we say we lost 343 brothers, we did, because we really are like a family. We spend, you know, over a day. You know, some departments are 24 hours. You know, Hewitt works a 48-hour shift, so the guys spend 2 days together. They eat together. You know, they sleep at the station. They respond to calls together. They do everything together. They clean. They go out and train. They do everything they do is together as a little group, and they really do become a family. And their families become extended family of that fire department family. And no matter where you go, I can walk into any town and walk into a fire station and tell them I'm a firefighter, and they welcome me like a brother, and they welcome me like I'm part of the family. So it really is, even though we didn't know them, we knew them, and it really was like we lost part of our family.
This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.